A couple months ago, I interviewed one of the most legendary business owners in the entire world. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
Question for you.
Yeah.
Is this your Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living out here in Tampa to be able to afford a Rolls Royce?
I am a consultant.
Are you an entrepreneur?
I am definitely an entrepreneur. I'm
Yeah.
a business consultant.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Most amount of money I've ever made in a single year, $15 million.
$15 million.
Yeah.
Have you ever been broke before?
I was broke for the first part of my life. Then I made millions of dollars, and then I was broke again. And now we've set it up in such a way that that doesn't happen anymore.
Do you believe in God?
I more than believe in God. I trust God.
That video got over 150 million views across social media. That's Myron Golden. And he invited us out to his private golf course out in Tampa, Florida to give you guys the blueprint on how you can become a multi-millionaire in today's world and how you can sell and market like a $15 million a year entrepreneur. This video is about to be insane from start to finish, so stay tuned until the end. But with that being said, let's get this video on the way. All right, you guys, so we made it to the golf course out here in Tampa, Florida, and Myron's gonna be pulling up at any second. So stay tuned because you're not gonna wanna miss this. My guy Myron's pulling up right now, so we're gonna wait for him to come out and go up to him, you guys. Come on. There he is.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Fantastic, brother.
It's great to see you.
to see you.
Thanks for having us out here, man. It's great to see you again.
100%. Great to see
Yeah,
you. Fancy meeting you here
Yeah,
again.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We were letting them know how many views our last video did.
It was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah? Do you know what the number is on Instagram?
No, 100 and something million.
100 billion.
Yeah, it's 100 and something million. It's crazy.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Never. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know videos got 100 million views.
But I like to say where attention goes, revenue flows.
What?
You
Let's
like that
go.
one?
I do.
I know we're at the golf course. We need to get $1 million per the game for them in this video. Can we make it happen out there?
We can make that happen, but before we do, I got to make sure I take care of this young lady.
100%.
All right, brother.
You
Time
ready?
to go.
Let's go.
It's time to bring the game to him.
I love it. How long have you been a business owner?
47 years.
Growing up, did you know you were going to be a business owner and build an empire?
Definitely not. No, I didn't have any idea. I learned, though, when I was 16 that you don't have to have a job because my dad quit his job and he said he was never going to work for anybody again. I'm like, what are we going to do? He just started doing for himself what he used to do for other people and got to keep all the money.
Great. How much money did you make this last year?
8 figures.
8 figures.
8 figures.
And we got to head to this next shot, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Let's go.
We do.
We're on a golf course right now.
Yep.
This is a playground for a lot of millionaires and billionaires.
For real.
Yeah. What do you notice about all the billionaires and the wealthiest people that you've met? What do the most successful do differently from everybody else?
Hyper focus on intention and ignore distraction.
So you don't like diversifying. You like focus going deep on one thing.
Well, diversifying is a different conversation. I don't like distractions. Intention is anything that moves the needle in your favor. Distraction is anything that you focus on that does not move the needle in your favor.
In terms of how wealthy people play with their money, what do they do differently from everybody else?
Ask me that question when we get over to T, because
Easy.
we got to get out of these
I
guys.
got you.
So you were saying?
What do the wealthiest people do differently from everybody else?
I think they perceive life differently as number one, but as a wealthy person, you don't view the primary purpose of money as paying bills. So poor people think the primary purpose of money is paying bills. Middle class people think the primary purpose of money is to maintain good credit so they can buy things they can't afford to impress people they don't know or like. Rich people believe the primary purpose of money is to turn it into more money. So that's like when I get $1, I want to turn it into 10 or preferably 100 or even 1,000 before I spend any of that dollar.
What's the secret to being able to flip that money, to make that money work for you, to double and multiply and grow that money?
Being able to perceive what's valuable to other people. So it doesn't matter whether you're trading stocks or whether you're investing in real estate or whether you're selling insurance. It doesn't matter. You have to solve somebody else's problem in order to solve your money problem. And you can't be focused on your money problem when you're solving it. You have to be focused on whatever their problem is.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 43. Maybe, no, I was 45. I was 45 when I made my
But
first.
you had lost it when you had first made it.
Well, I didn't. I had made $1 million a year for a couple of years in a row and then lost all my money.
Why did you lose everything?
We just had a whole series of tragedies. Sometimes life comes at you fast. And I upgraded my lifestyle way too soon when I first started making money. But when you first start making 30, 40, 50,000 a month, you think you're a big baller, or
Right.
80,000 a month, 100,000 a month. You think, oh man, we're making so much money, it'll never run out. But the scripture says, when riches increase, so do they that consume them. So when you start making more money, you are going to have more expenses. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you set yourself up in such a way that you don't spend every dime out of every dollar. You don't even, if you can live off of 10% of your revenue or 10% of your income, now you're in a place where the bottom can fall out and you're still going to be okay for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a saying that I love: stay small enough, long enough, and you'll be big enough soon enough.
Ooh,
like
that's a
that
bar.
Yeah, because like even if you're making, like you said, $30, $40, $50,000 a month. It's like keep the expenses low.
Keep the expenses low, yeah.
Even when the margins and the profits are high, it's like,
Absolutely. And it gives you the ability to acquire massive amounts of wealth. And the more money you have, if you understand how to turn money into money, the bigger that amount gets, the faster it gets bigger. If you're not always taking money out to go buy stuff. And there's nothing wrong with buying stuff, but you want to make sure that the business is sustained first.
Right. What industry would you get into right now?
Something to do with AI.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Why?
Well, because it's easier to create wealth in the economic era that you're living in than it is to create wealth in the past. So every time wealth changes, like sectors or categories, a new economic era is introduced. From the beginning of time to the mid-1700s, you had the agricultural age, land equaled wealth. From the mid-1700s to the mid-1900s, industrial age, machines equaled wealth. 1955 to 1978, the distribution age, outlets equaled wealth. And right now we are in the AI age. So the people who got started in AI in 2020, 2021, 2022, and even today, 2025, those are the people who create the wealth of the future.
If you had to start from zero and you had 90 days to make $1 million and your life depended on it, what would you do?
I don't think like that because I don't give myself deadlines like that. So I think you may already know this, but they don't. I don't believe in setting goals. A goal is an objective with a deadline. I don't control deadlines. I don't control the times and seasons. It's like saying to a farmer, okay, if you had to produce 7 million ears of corn by next Wednesday, what would you do? Well, there's nothing you could do. So instead of doing that, have an objective for inputs, an objective for outcomes, but don't put a time limit on it because let it happen when it happens. And that way you're not frustrating yourself by setting a goal, not reaching the goal, and then feeling like a failure because it didn't happen when you thought it was going to happen, because it might happen 2 days later and you still felt like a failure for 2 days. Or if it happens 2 years later, you wasted time feeling like a failure for 2 years, and that feeling like a failure for 2 years might even cause you to quit. Only objective of life.
Are you a good salesman?
Without sounding braggadocious, one of the best in the world.
One of the best in the world. So what's the one thing that you do differently from 99% of other salesmen that's enabled you to become part of that top 1%?
I only sell people things they desire to buy.
So do you think a lot of people that they sell bullshit that people don't need?
I would never phrase it like that because I don't use profanity. I think a lot of people want people to buy stuff simply because they're selling it. I only want people to buy things that they already want to buy. See, most people are looking for somebody to sell their stuff to so they can make some money. I believe that there are already millions of people in the world who would love to buy what you'd love to sell if they only knew you existed. So instead of trying to find somebody to sell something to because you have something for sale, make yourself findable for people who want to buy what you already want to sell. Make selling really easy.
Did you come from a rich family?
Do you mean rich in money? Because the answer to that would be absolutely not. No.
So how did you change your family's trajectory? There's the saying that, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. How did you escape the cycle of poverty?
I think the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but the poor don't get poorer because the rich get richer, and the rich don't get richer because the poor get poorer. Those statements are true, but they're not causality. They're correlation. They're not causation. How did I escape the cycle of poverty? First of all, I hated being poor. And then I learned the things that rich people did, and I started doing those instead of doing the things that poor people did.
What did you learn and implement into your skill set?
Number one, like my good friend Daniel Priestley says, income follows assets. So I stopped focusing on working hard. I stopped focusing on 8 hours work for 8 hours pay. I stopped focusing on paying bills. I started focusing on, okay, how can I put more assets in my asset column? Because income follows assets.
So you bought a lot of assets.
I did. I bought and built, because you can buy assets, but you can also build assets. I've written books, for instance. Every book that I've written is an asset. It pays me money every month. So you write the book once, but it pays you for the rest of your life. That's an asset.
What are you investing in right now?
Real estate, options, some crypto. The most important thing I've ever invested in is my own mind, to learn the things I don't know so I can do the things I couldn't do before.
Have you spent a lot of money on mentorship?
Depends on your definition of a lot of money.
Yeah.
I haven't spent nearly as much as I've made.
Right. And how much money would you say you've spent on mentorship?
And if you include all the books, all the courses, all the coaching programs, all of it, about 1.7 million.
1.7 million. What's the greatest lesson you've learned from investing over $1 million into mentorship?
Mentorship is like the ultimate shortcut. It's like somebody's already spent their whole life figuring out how to do something, and all they're going to do is charge you up some money to teach you how to do it. Sign me up for that program. I remember my first mentor, Jerry, he showed me how to sell to many, like one to many from stage, and the stuff he showed me was invaluable. It was just like, wait, what? I didn't even believe it would work, but I did it because he was my coach and he said do it. And it worked so well that the first time I did it, it was hard for me to keep from breaking out into hysterical laughter. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it's been here all along. It's not just the things that we don't know. It's the things that we don't know that's the problem.
Right. What is the best advice you ever received from a mentor?
I think the thing that changed my trajectory wasn't so much a piece of advice as it was something that Robert G. Allen, the author of Multiple Streams of Income, said to me at a seminar. He was asking for testimonies. I told him, I've read your books and I've used some of your material and some of your courses, and I'm doing really good. I used to be a trash man making $6.25 an hour. Now I'm living like a king. I'm making $30,000 a month. You know what he said to me?
What did he say?
He said, you're doing really good. You're on the path to making some really big money. money. And he said that to me in front of like 700 people. And the first thought was, did he just diss my $30,000 a month in front of 700 people? My second thought was, wait, there's a level where $30,000 a month is not a lot of money? Oh, let me get to that level.
You have to think a lot bigger is what you're saying.
You have to think a lot bigger, and you have to learn to perceive the big things that are already there all around you so you can access them. People think they lack access to abundance. They don't lack access to abundance. They lack access to awareness of abundance that's all around them.
You guys, that was an incredible answer from Myron, but I needed to take a second real quick to thank you guys for helping us hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You guys, this is an incredible milestone in our journey, and since you guys helped me get to this point, I have to give back to you guys. And right now, this week, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to join my private entrepreneur community, the School of Mentors, the #1 community for business owners and people trying to self-improve in the entire world. And the reason why it's become the #1 community for business owners in the world is because every single week, I bring in one of the multi-millionaires and the billionaires that I interview on this channel to directly mentor you and answer all of your questions on live Zoom calls every single week. For example, Myron Golden, who we're interviewing right now, he came in and he mentored our community. Guys, Myron made $15 million in a single year. He taught our community step by step how to sell and how to market over a live call. I've also had billionaires like Steven Klubeck, who sold his company for $2.2 billion to Hilton. He taught our company how to start their business, how to get capital, how to get investment, and how to grow and eventually sell a company. You guys, this type of mentorship you cannot find anywhere else on the planet. And since we hit 1 million subscribers, for this week only, you can join my community at the lowest rate, the lowest price it has ever been. At $30 a month, you guys, you cannot get mentored from multimillionaires or billionaires every week at a more affordable rate. So come in and join the community. Come in and get mentored from a multimillionaire or a billionaire. But I want to go even beyond that. For somebody that joins the community this week, you will be entered in to win one of these 3 prizes, starting with this, a free live one-on-one call with a multiple 8-figure entrepreneur where you can ask your question to a business owner whose business is doing multiple 8 figures a year. I'm also going to be giving away free lifetime access to one of the members that join this week. That's correct. You will get free live calls every single week with the multimillionaires and the billionaires that I interview on this channel. And lastly, I'm going to be giving away a free trip to one of the members that joined this week to come and shoot content with me and meet several multimillionaires and billionaires in one of the next cities that I film in. So you do not want to miss this opportunity to join and become a member of the #1 community for business owners in the entire world. All you have to do to join is go down to the link in the description of this video. I can't wait to see you on the inside of my community, the School of Mentors. But with that being said, let's get back to the video. So how can somebody get in the room if they don't have a lot of credibility?
You pay to be in the room. You buy your way into the room, right? And you get paid on the way out of the room. I joined a mastermind 10 years ago, actually, and I was the brokest person in that mastermind, right? I was just like, I talked them into letting me do a special payment plan because I wanted to be in the program. And everybody in that mastermind acted like my ideas were the best ideas they'd ever heard. And so eventually, what that caused me to realize is I had been selling to the wrong people my whole life. I'd been selling to the people who needed it instead of the people who wanted it. That's one. And then a lot of those people later became my clients, even though I wasn't in there sniping. They just became my clients because they wanted to learn the stuff I knew. But I didn't even realize the value of the stuff I knew. I only thought people who came from where I was coming from saw value in the stuff I knew. I didn't realize people who were way ahead of me, like financially, would see value in the ideas that I had. And so learning to sell to the right people, one of the most valuable things I've ever done.
How do you identify the right market to go into and sell to? There's a lot of people that get shiny object syndrome where they say, oh, this and that. How do you identify the right market to go in and sell?
Well, it depends on what your objective is. So one of the things I learned a long time ago is if you want to get rich, sell to rich people, right? Sell to people with money. Why? Because they have the money to buy the stuff and it's easy to get them to pay for it because they have the money. Okay, so cool. When I think about the right people, I make my messaging so that it attracts the right people and repels the wrong people. Like a lot of people, the last thing they tell you when they're attempting to sell you something is the price. Because the stuff I sell, my coaching is $40,000 an hour. My mentorship programs, my masterminds, they range from $27,000 all the way up to $1 million a year. And so I put that out there up front. So the people who I'm not for know I'm not for them. And they don't bother me and I don't bother them. Everybody's happy.
So you said you got to solve expensive problems because would you agree that it's the same stress to go after $5,000 problems as $100,000 problems?
Yeah, it requires the same level of energy is how I would describe it. It takes no more energy to sell $1 million program, $1 million offer than it does to sell a $1,000 offer. You're just selling it to a different person. If a person's ready to buy, they're ready to buy what they're ready to buy.
So how do you get money from a rich person then?
See, I don't see selling as getting money from people. I see it as delivering value to them. You get money from them because they happily pay you because you've solved the problem they've been struggling with for a long time.
How do you define sales?
I define sales as uncovering the value of what I have to offer offer so well that people are happy to exchange the money they have in their pocket for the value I've revealed. So most people, they think of selling as talking somebody into buying something they don't want, don't need, and can't afford, right? Because they don't see selling the way I do. If somebody says no to their offer, the first thing they do is lower their price. But I recommend, instead of lowering your price, why not just raise the value? Like, offer them more value, and then people will be happy to pay for it.
And what's the most amount of money that you made in a single day?
Most amount I've ever made in a single day, probably $5.5 million.
You made $5 million in a single day?
Yeah.
How?
Well, by making an offer to a group of people, making a premium value offer to a group of people.
So you just get the attention and then you just...
Right, you garner the attention over time, but what you do is you develop a relationship. Like, if people are going to pay you $55,000, for instance, they have a relationship with you generally on some level, at least in their minds they do. You don't walk up to a girl and say, "Hi, my name's James, will you marry me?" Right? If you ask her that, she's going to be scared and say no. If she's not scared and say no, you should be scared and run away.
You build that rapport and that trust over time.
Over time. With people. Like Frank Kern says, prove to people that you can help them by actually helping them. And so that's one of the things that you do with your School of Hard Knocks channel. That's one of the things I do with my YouTube channel. I prove to people that I can help them by actually helping them. People say in their comments on my YouTube channel all the time, "I can't believe this guy does this much, gives us this much value for free." But it's not really free, because they have to pay for it with their attention. And here's what I've discovered. People pay you long enough with their attention, they'll eventually pay you with their assets.
Wow, which means that they'll invest in you.
They'll invest in themselves through you.
Now, when I first interviewed you, I asked you if you believed in God, and you said, "I don't just believe in God.
I trust God."
Yeah. How did you find that trust in God? Why do you trust God?
Because he's never lied to me, but then again, he's never lied to anyone, because God cannot lie. I trust God because he's proven to me over and over and over again that everything he says in his word, which I believe is the Bible, is not just true, but it's truth.
What's a financial lesson from the Bible that a lot of people do not know? Does God want people to be rich?
God wants some people to be rich. Does God want everybody to be rich? I don't think God has the same plan for everybody. That's why everybody's a different person, because he's got a different purpose for everybody. I do believe that it's God's design for his children to be rich, but I believe that God also has exceptions to his own rules. And so some people, they have a different assignment. Now, I can't tell you whether or not God wants you to be rich, but I can tell you there's no doubt in my mind that he wants me to be rich, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have shown me the principles that made me rich, right? And so you say, what's a principle in the Bible that can help people be rich? Well, it says, "The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. He who will be greatest among you, let him be servant of all." One of the things I found out in business is you can be great even if you're not good, if you're willing to serve enough people, because greatness is your ability to serve the masses.
How old are you now?
I am 63. I'll be 64 in 2 months.
What has God been teaching you in the last year?
Man, there's so much. What has God been teaching me in the last year? That life is short. And even if you live to be 100, life is short. So love the people you love, and don't just repeat the same experience over and over. Pack your life with life experiences. Pack every day with life experiences. Live every day with gratitude in your heart. Greatest lesson? Everything good in my life is a gift. That's the greatest lesson. I woke up this morning and I opened my eyes, and guess what I could do? I could see. And I know how to make myself look, but I don't know how to make myself see.
You got amazing advice, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you letting us come out here.
100%.
This is excellent. Where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on my website, MyronGolden.com, or on YouTube, Myron Golden, or if you want to follow up my Bible study with Myron Golden on YouTube.
Guys, that's a wrap on today's video. This one was incredible. Myron dropped so many gems for you guys. So I need you guys to like and subscribe for amazing content we've got coming every single week, because I'm going all over the world to interview the most successful people in the entire world for you. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are not a member of my entrepreneur community, the School of Mentors, the #1 community for business owners in the entire world, you are missing out, because every single week inside of this community, I bring in the multi-millionaires and the billionaires that I interview to mentor you. So if you want your life to change by getting around the most successful people in the world, come become a member and join the community today. All you have to do is go down to the link in the description of this video. I can't wait to see you on the inside of the community. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.